We are Matrix, and we create a Artizia app. We're going to talk a little bit more about this app, about this product. Our my teammate was Peter, Brett, myself, and Jason, and our mentor was Chris.
Sorry about that. Yeah, when we started looking at this application, we found that for artisans, there really wasn't a place for them to sell their wares. And the existing online marketplaces we found were a bit too cumbersome, too many forms to fill out, too much information basically to enter. And there was high overhead fees, like some places would charge you a fee just to list your item. Another one take a fee when you sell your item. Another fee for if you want to extend your top of the list listing. And the big marketplace like Kijiji or Garage Sale, we found they just weren't focused on artisans. It was really a place to sell everything and anything and not just for artisans. And the small online marketplaces that did cater somewhat to artisans just didn't have the functionality that we thought was needed. And during this time with COVID, there's limited physical places for artisans to sell their wares like farmers markets and craft fairs.
Our solution was to create an online marketplace that allows artisans to fully showcase their products with no overhead fees and a simple, intuitive UI UX that gives both the artisans and the buyers the functionality they really require.
Our team consists of 4 strong, talented individuals with Chris D as our facilitator. This project was built on hard work, collaboration, and trust. Using agile methodology, we use Trello software to manage all the user stories and deliveries. We use Figma for the initial screen designs. We built 2 front stack applications using, for the admin, we use the React, and we hosted that on Heroku. We use Material UI for all the styling. On the user side, we create a mobile app using React Native, Redux, and Axio for all the API calls, and Expo for the app design. On the back end, we use we have 3 components. On the server, we have the Express, the bcrypt to manage the encryption, the JT, the JWT for the token management, Multier to stream all the pictures to the file server. We have the database that hosts all the tables using MySQL, and that's being hosted on AWS. For the file server on Cloudinary, that store all the images that we use for all the applications that we have. And now I'm going to pass it to Jason for the app demonstration.
So on the iPhone X on the right there, this is our home page, and it shows a listing of items by category as you scroll down. And to see the items within a category, you can scroll to the right. You can also search for a particular item by entering the item there and hitting enter.
It's not reading. Had a bit of technical difficulty here. All right. Figures. Ah, there we go. A little slow.
Yeah, you can also perform a more advanced search by going to the advanced search screen and selecting a particular category and searching for a particular item, if you like, within that category. And hitting enter or pressing search, and that'll bring up the search results. So now I'll pass it off to Brett to demonstrate being a seller.
Yeah, so as a seller, if you want to add an item, we just go down to the bottom nav bar, click on the little plus icon, and we're now on the page where we can actually enter our things. So we'll just enter a cutting board and give it a little bit more of a detailed description. And pick an appropriate price. And then we select a category, which in this case would be woodwork, and the subcategory of cutting boards. Now, if we want to add a photo for our item, we just click on the little plus button, and we can either browse for a photo or take a photo, but within the simulator, we can't take a photo, so I'll just browse for one and pick my picture of the cutting board. I'm happy with that. Doesn't need any cropping. I'll just choose it. And then once I've got this, I upload it into the app. And I can add more photos. And if I want to add more photos, I just go through that process again of browsing, picking the picture and uploading it. And when you're happy, click on done. And it'll take you back to the main add item page, and we can click on save. And once you save it, we'll see it immediately back on the home page. So I'll hand it back over to Peter.
As a user, once you signed in, Brett, can you just click on the enter on the search button so that we can update my screen?
Oop.
Okay. All right. As a user, you have the ability to browse different categories and see what's on the listing. Say, for instance, if I'm interested in the cutting board that has just been listed, I can click on it. It will give me all the details of information that has been entered. And if I want to inquire more about the product, I can contact the seller. I can message is being presented to me. I can edit the message and I can send a message to the user to say, is it still available? And I click send and I wait to get a reply back from the seller. And on the seller side, you can click on the message and see if there's anybody that is interested on his product or a cutting board. You can click on it. You find that somebody is interested in it. You click on the message. I got a message and can say, hey, the message, the item is still available. And we'll send another message back to the messages sent there. And on the user side, message comes back, it's still available. They can go back and forth and send message to each other, agree on the price, agreed on where to meet, and transaction is made. So the seller and the buyer, they're happy with it. The user also have ability to rate the user and the product that is being purchased. So you can go to the review seller, type the name of the seller, put whatever information you want to pick, if you want to tell the seller about the seller, click the ratings. Let's give him 5-star. You can do the item descriptions, review the item. You can put some star rating on the item as well. And you can save that for future use about the product and the users. And for the users that also have advertised before, you can click on My Item, and that will also display the message being sent. So on the My Item, it will display all the items that the individuals have entered. You can click plus to add more item. You can delete information about your item, and I'm going to pass it to Rogers to continue the presentation.
Right, thanks, Peter. Um, now we're going to how to see all of our announcements. We can click there. And as we say, we have, if you have a list of announcement, we can just scroll down and see all of those, all this announcement. And now we are going to let's go to how to edit our profile. And here we can edit, if you want to edit the first name or last name or email. But for example, we want to change the payment method. We could just check the, for example, cash. Yeah, there. And then we just submit this edition from our profiles. And we can see already, we can see the type of method change to cash. So that means everything's good to go. And we can go just click submit all this change.
Yeah, did
scroll
that.
down.
Yeah, I already did that.
Okay, cool. And now I'm gonna pass it to Peter.
Apart from the app, we also create the admin page that was built on React, where informations to present on the announcement can be done. You can create announcements, where you create all the announcements that is required. Create announcements. This is where you put the title, put the message, go back to the announcement. This is where you can edit the announcement as you see fit. Maybe the messages need to be done. You can add more, you can delete, and you submit that. Okay, that's done already. And that is where you can delete an announcement that is no longer valid. We also have the expiry date on the announcement, where once the date is expired, it doesn't show up again. This is where you can also manage the add categories as we continue to grow the site. This is where you can create additional categories and subcategories. And I'll pass it to Jason to continue the presentation.
Jason, you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay, thanks. An admin can also send notifications here, providing a title and a message. The message will not show up on our current version of the Xcode emulator, but it will show up on a regular phone. Admins can also manage users if they like by disabling them or re-enabling them. And that concludes the product demonstration of our presentation.
Thank you.
No, we're not quite done, Jenna.
Okay, no, I wasn't sure. There was that moment, I wasn't sure. Keep going, my friend.
There's one more slide there, Brett.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot.
No worries.
My bad.
Yeah, so if you'd like to experience the application, you can try installing Expo Go from the Google Play Store or the App Store and scanning this QR code. And then all you need to do is sign up within the application and enjoy. So we'll just leave this screen up for you to perhaps do your install and scanning. And on behalf of Artizia, we'd like to thank you for watching our presentation today.